4, 3, 2, 1, go. Hey guys, Ranch here, Polaris Rhapsody commentary. This is going to be the losers match in Group H of the Ro32. Bigfile MSL, HiyA versus Fantasy. Damn it, another TV freaking T. Bottom right position in brown, turn player, of course. I just mentioned the TVT, didn't I? HiyA. Upper left position in white, Fantasy. So brown, HiyA. HiyA is the color of brown. Or brown is the color of HiyA? I don't know. Fantasy is the color of not mangoes, no. Feathers? White feathers? Angels? Clouds? And other assorted interesting goods. I could cheat just by saying white bricks or paper. Color of paper. I don't know why I'm mentioning that, but we have another TVT for you guys. You know, but so far this Group H has been pretty good, and I love that letter H. H. It stands for so many things that I enjoy and appreciate. I'm not gonna go into those now because that just might make this video rated M if I do, especially if I add in assorted images. That'd be fun. But TVT, you know, could be an interesting TVT. A fantasy, very interesting player in TVT from what I've found. Really likes his vultures, as has been shown, and can really abuse his opponent. What's going on with the dancing ACVs all over the place? Dear Lord. Okay, 2 ACVs are running around for HiyA. He's, okay, just walling off. Nothing too funky about that. Not really a complete wall. I think actually he needs more than 1 second supply depot to finish that. I'm not too sure. I'm not quite sure whether the seconds supply depot is actually going to be enough to finish that wall off. But I've been wrong before, but definitely doesn't look like another supply depot will cut it. Do see the refinery on the way, so might be seeing a factory into Expo from HiyA. We're going to see on the opposite side. Fantasy has one SCV kind of scouting, going for the scout, while the other SCV's inside of his base, I believe, putting down a command center. So he's trying to take the economic edge for himself, wondering whether he's going to just bust up a bunch of factories as soon as he does that. Getting that SCV scout in there, let's see what's going on. What's going on? Has an SCV on his ass, actually. Got a bogey on my 6, yo! Something like that. Also adding in a factory outside his front, did go for a 14 command center. But 2-player map, just so fun to see player go for these builds on these 2-player maps like Odd Eye, and seems like Polaris Rhapsody is a lot too. And actually looking at the lengths of the maps, does seem that they are significantly alike. HiyA finally going to go in there, get the scout. Oh, so that's what you're doing. I see. All right, well, I'm going to see whether they're actually going to try to follow this up by getting his Expo right now, or going to instead try to put in some pressure. It's been a long time since I've seen somebody react to a quick Expo by adding another factory, you know, stuff like that. That's fun. I've seen Midas do that. That's the kind of stuff Midas does. That's old school. But nope, nothing on that refinery. So we are going to be seeing an Expo coming in from HiyA. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff I want to see. Like, you're going to put down an Expo. Well, you know what? Give me a minute. I'll be on your ass right there killing that thing. A reaction to an Expo could be pulling half your SCVs and getting everything you have on the ground going right now. But we're going to be seeing some factories finally from Fantasy. He's going to have more factories quicker as soon as that economy starts to kick in. And HiyA's going to be behind early on, but maybe he might get the fact, you know, maybe the fact that he has a tech advantage, might utilize it better. Maybe tech all the way to starport right away, go for a drop. You could get away with a drop on this map. You know, fly from the right side in. Your opponent won't even see it coming unless he scouts the starport. But we're going to see what he manages to do, because the further the game goes on right now, Fantasy's still going to be in a slightly better position. HiyA might also react by just getting his third base quicker, maybe taking the lower left-hand corner, maybe taking the 3 o'clock position, maybe going for the middle only at the 6. Actually, just a vulture in there now out there for HiyA, but the bunker in there, gonna make sure that the vulture doesn't. Oh, just the fact that it's not even sure whether he can get by that that barracks, but just in case the Marines there in the bunker, like, I'm ready for anything, go go go. Yeah, I'm not gonna. This is not the time for imitations. Go go go. I'm just gonna end up killing my voice or some annoying nuisances, some other annoying stuff like that. Fantasy, yeah, gonna go for a scout. Gonna try to get inside that main. Gonna spot the expansion coming up just as it does. Bunch of CVs coming off the line like, do us around, do us around. But instead of gangbanging him, it's the tank that gets the job done. Yeah, you want to give me orders? Something like that. But yeah, both players finally gonna get both of their bases up. Do see armory coming up right now for Fantasy. Does have this second factory up sooner than HiyA. And actually gonna fill the barracks, gonna like, hello Vulture, would you like to come inside? Death awaits you, something like that. But for now, the way the game's going right now, it does seem like it's gonna be fairly dull. First 10 minutes, basically teching up, getting that stuff going. Third factory going up now for Fantasy. He's gonna have a stronger economy early on, but it does seem like it's just gonna evolve into your good old standard TVT tanks, vultures to start off, then evolve, kind of like Pokemon, into Goliaths and dropships. Do see Academy also coming up there from HiyA while he sits on 2 facts. On the opposite side, instead, we do see Fantasy putting on his 4th factory. Did not see an Academy from him yet, so he's going to be a little bit later on the scans, but just trying to get as many factories out there as he can so he can pump as much stuff as he can. So that makes sense as well, I guess, when you really think about it. Get the army! Get the army! Get the production! We need a war economy right now. Come on, let's go! Still see just supply depots. Still don't see an outline for an academy. Might be missing it right there because, you know, when you try to look at stuff up top, that those T5s and T11s and the timer, they're all in the freaking way, aren't they? But it does seem like finally Fantasy has some vultures of his own with speed. HiyA, though, with those 3 tanks dancing around, definitely enough to defend that and fight that off, though. So probably not going to be seeing Fantasy doing any terrorist action in this one. It was throwing and getting a lot of vultures out there. Just as soon as those mines hit, you might be able to get in there and do some damage because only 2 factories, both with machine shops, but only 2 factories mostly producing tanks right now out there for HiyA. So he's just getting a lot of tanks right now, just not getting his 3rd, 4th, and 5th, as I say that, and getting some Goliaths out there as well. So it does seem like we're going to be just evolving into good old standard stuff. And they're finally seeing the Academy from Fantasy a little bit late, but is mostly producing vultures right now. Has Marines out there as well, and mines near the middle. It's just flying them or just hovering them around, I guess, vultures. Kind of like, hey. And getting the scout and everything, trying to plant some mines around, control the flow of the game, control any movement across the map. And HiyA doesn't really seem to be going for very heavy vultures at all. Probably going to be getting some of them with those additional factories he's adding now, but still not much in the way of vultures. And oh my god, 2 barracks pass each other, and just a little bit out of reach for a high 5. Oh god, ooh, my brain feels a little like it's turning off, but that was what happens when you work a full day and then commentate some of these games near midnight, or I think it's even past midnight at this point. It's a silly thing to do. You know, casting StarCraft should never be the last thing you do before you go to sleep. The experience tells me. I've done it though. I've waited up like for 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, just to get to do duels with Diggity. Like wait from like 1 o'clock to like 4 just to get to commentate a few games until 6 in the morning. Oh god. Oh god. The things I've done for this frickin' community. I mean, sure, nothing huge, but damn it. Just to get a duel on Vile Attack. Well, not really just to get a duel on Vile, just to duel with Diggity, because dueling with Diggity is cool. I feel like a total idiot sometimes when I commentate with him, but you know, that's the way it is. You know, like Diggity's Diggity. I mean, he knows things. He is wise in his ways. While I'm just running around like a crazy maniac. A lot of vultures out for Fantasy, but HiyA finally now has some of his own in there. Like, I'm still here, man. You can't do anything. The tank's on the ramp. No siege for Fantasy that I can see. At least he's not sieging up. A nice scan in there, though, from HiyA. Managed to get some shots off, picking off some of those mines. Although Fantasy does have some of his own siege tanks up there. No SCVs to repair them, though. That's pretty bad. HiyA with those SCVs in a very good location. 1 tank, 1 shot away from dying. Less than 1 shot away from dying, even. Just poke it and it'll just go kablam. Mind you, if you stand up next to a tank close enough to poke it in for it to go kablam, you're probably going to go kablam as well. But HiyA putting on a lot of pressure, getting some tanks very close. Oh, mine's very close to those tanks.